James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez continue Fear State as Batman teams with Ghostmaker to deep dive into his mind and see if Scarecrow has compromised his actions, while Peacekeeper 1 continues his violent rampage through the fear-induced Gotham. James Tynion continues Fear State by yet again, for the third issue in a row, reiterating information both us the readers and the characters already know. I have no idea why the event continues to explain what Fear State is in each of these issues. We've had it explained 3 times to us now, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what it is. It's as if the story didn't have much meat on it to begin with and is being stretched out into a longer summer event than it should have been, all because it's Batman, which means it will probably sell pretty well. There are moments when you think it's going to move on, like the build-up of Batman taking down the Magistrate and talking directly to Simon Saint. You think that'll be Batman's big reveal to the city that he's not dead and the city has hope again, but then it just falls short and it regresses back into explaining what Fear State is yet again. I did enjoy James tying Ghostmaker's storyline back into the larger plot, but then I'm also questioning why the character never mentioned this before, like when it was revealed 2 issues ago that Scarecrow was doing this and what Fear State is, since that probably might have been a bit helpful. Jorge Jimenez continues his brilliant artwork that, despite the writing, really elevates it all. The chaotic nature of his page layouts really helps sell the idea of a city on the edge of fear, and how at any moment it should just explode out, and the bright greens and reds and purples of the book continue to really pop off the page and amaze me. Batman issue 113 again disappoints me as we continue to run in place with Fear State, getting no new information whatsoever that leads me to believe this event wasn't meant to be as big as it's been blown up to be. I'm going to give this issue a 5 out of 10. Batman issue 113 finds Batman heading out into the fear-steeped city as Barbara continues to try and crack the code on who has hacked her Oracle systems, all while the system continues to spout lies about wanting to help the city, proclaiming Gotham will be burned down before it can be controlled, and the Peacekeeper will not win, but the people need to protect themselves from the fear toxin in the water and cover themselves in disinfectant and grab a gun since they want people afraid, and they should be. Commissioner Montoya meanwhile is told of the supposed zombies at Potter's Field, among other garbage tips echoing what Oracle is spewing out. Renee knows it's not the real Oracle, wanting her people to keep on with the ham radios and pick up whatever chatter they can. The officer leaves and Montoya wonders why she took this job as Batman steps out of the shadows, knowing it's because she wanted to help people. The hero wants to tell her what he knows and she needs to take it at face value, so Batman fills her in on the Magistrate and what they are up to, and how they are framing the Insanity Collective, who while have broken laws are not a terrorist group like they're being made out to be. Peacekeeper 1 has now been dosed with fear toxin and has been let loose in the city, and Scarecrow is at large with greater plans for Gotham. Renee asks if Nakano gave all this power to the Magistrate and now they have no control, and Batman says he did that and they need to stop Sean. Montoya trusts Batman, but she needs proof of all this, and of Simon Saint working with Scarecrow, someone from the Insanity Collective willing to testify to all this, and Peacekeeper 1 brought into police custody. She tells the hero that Gotham is at a breaking point and lies are spreading, so people need to believe in something together or the city will break. Batman takes to the city, immediately set upon by the Magistrate drones, but he refuses to back down, hoping Simon Saint is watching through their eyes as he takes down the robots, telling Simon that he is going to jail for the rest of his natural life and there is no future for the Magistrate in Gotham, since he gave Scarecrow power he has never had, turning the city into Scarecrow's laboratory. Batman knows that he will make sure the city knows who's at fault for this, even if it kills him. Later at Fort Grey, Ghostmaker and Batman sift through Batman's storage as Ghostmaker finds this quite thrilling thanks to the challenge of not losing focus in the exhaustion of it all. Batman tells him to focus as he finds his VR goggles, asking what the man knows of mind control. Bruce sets up the VR gear, saying that when he was in Arkham, Crane got inside his head without the toxins, and Bruce wants to investigate his own mind to see if something has been planted in his brain and if he'll be dangerous out in the field. He reveals the goggles are an approximation of short-range telepathy based on mother box tech he developed with Cyborg. He knows he would usually call Martian Manhunter in if they had some time, telling Ghostmaker that he needs help since there is a risk of burning out the moral center of the user's brain. He jokes about using Ghostmaker maybe as a guinea pig for this, as the anti-hero says that he may just implant an inferiority complex of himself in Bruce's mind. Bruce knows he won't, since he would never know if he beat him honestly or when Bruce was cheating. The two activate the devices, going into Bruce's mind and looking through Bruce's mind like a search engine, but soon they move on to the lab Bruce was trapped in. Bruce, however, doesn't remember any of this, as Scarecrow says that fear lives deeper in the brain than memory, seemingly looking right at and talking to Ghostmaker. Batman begins having trouble focusing as the vision of him in the wheelchair attacks, prompting Ghostmaker to kill the mysterious copies, soon finding Bruce has been trapped in a cell nearby, not remembering who he is. He reminds the unfocused hero of who he is and what he stands for as the Batman, returning him refreshed, told that they are in his mind. The mindscape soon shifts to Gotham University's campus, and Bruce knows this isn't a memory of his, as they spot a young Jonathan Crane. Ghostmaker realizes this is one of his memories, and it was after they both had met and Ghostmaker wanted to understand Bruce's fear more, so he tracked down the young Crane who was teaching at the school at the time. Batman knows he wanted Ghostmaker to try and understand his empathy, but he decided to just use Scarecrow to teach him. Ghostmaker knows how it sounds, as the young Crane explains how fear is an evolutionary tool and it's deep and animalistic, and people need to overcome fear and evolve past it. He says he hates the modern world for coddling and comforting children and telling them not to be afraid, as he reveals his fear state theory to Ghostmaker, explaining what it would entail and how he could do it by using a straw man, which he likes to call the Scarecrow, knowing once people are pushed to confront Scarecrow and the fear, they will conquer the fear and be remade better. The hero knows this fear state is currently happening in the city, beginning with Joker War pushing the city to the edge. Batman knows that Saint sees Gotham ready for the fear state, which will ready them for the magistrate. Ghostmaker says that Scarecrow doesn't care about Saint and his plans now and wants the resources to test his theory on Gotham, which means the Insanity Collective were the false Scarecrows, and he's going to fixate the city on something else now. Bruce knows that something else is Peacekeeper 1, as Crane is deep inside his mind. Sean meanwhile finishes butchering some of the people in the streets, rambling on about being the hero as Peacekeeper X confronts him, wanting him to surrender. Scarecrow activates Sean's mind control device again, getting the man to scream he is the hero of the city, as Batman knows that Scarecrow has turned the city into a powder keg and Peacekeeper 1 is the match that's going to blow it all to hell.